Well, look who just walked through the door looking fine, fabulous, and blessed. Is that you, boo? Welcome back to the Save the Good Girl podcast. I'm so happy that you came back. I feel like we're building a really nice relationship. I feel like I'm becoming your favorite podcast. I feel like you're looking forward to my episodes. That's just me thinking to myself. But you and I talk. So this is exactly what I'm feeling. And I'm so happy that you're back. I'm Erica. Some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. So for my newbies, I'm Erica, and I am the host of the Save the Good Girl podcast. I release episodes every Tuesday and Friday, and today we are doing Shot of Erica, which is released on Tuesdays. And Shot of Erica is basically comparable to your shot of tequila, green juice, or espresso. Just that quick shot that you need that's going to get you there. So today's episode is very short, and on Friday, we really do the kiki. So come back on Friday so we can talk some more. Love is something that we all desire and that we all need. What happens when love is paused due to a loss? Some things that can come to mind is, will I be a great partner? Am I capable to be a great partner since I'm going through something so deep? Am I ready to be open again? Can I date again? Will I just break down and cry out of nowhere? It's just so many thoughts and questions and concerns that one may have after experiencing loss, and just thinking about adding romance back into your life because you want it, and you desire it, and you want it to be fulfilling. You want it to really work out. And these are some thoughts you may have, and I had them too. So we're really going to talk about dating after experiencing loss. And what does that look like? And can you do it? And the answer is you can. You can. Prior to me going through the grief that I went through, I really was having this plan, right, for love. And you're not supposed to do that, but who doesn't listen? Me. So I had this idea once I get this job and then I get this and this and this and that, I'll have time to bring this to my partner and everything's going to be great. And this is what I had in my mind. But then I experienced my grief, and grief completely put me on hold, completely put me on pause. And as I've stated, grief is not just the death of a loved one. It could be a divorce, a breakup, your job, your old self. There's so many things that we are grieving and so many things that we have lost. And now we're trying to rebuild again. And love was one of those areas that, I really wanted to rebuild again, but I just didn't know how, or how am I going to do this? Because I'm sad and I'm crying all the time. I'm confused. I have all these questions and I'm depressed and I'm going through all of this. And how am I going to really introduce love back into my life? So I shared in the first episode of the grief series that my cousin was getting married, and my grief counselor and I were working together for me to get ready to go to the wedding. So thankfully, to his help and to his support, I was able to get there along with my therapist to mentally prepare for me to go, because I was so nervous I was going to take away her moment because of my sadness. And he said, no, you gotta go, you gotta try. And I said, okay. And he was saying it was going to be great for me for many reasons, right? To be around love, to see love, to be with family and all of that. So there was one day I was going to a store because I really wanted to make her a cute care package. And I saw this really great bride candle, and it smelled amazing. And I just envisioned how I would want a candle while I'm getting ready for my wedding. And all the things that I would want, I wanted to give that to her. So as I'm doing this was during the summer, I'm getting the basket ready for her. I'm excited to do it actually. But then while I was there, I was getting a little sad, right? So I got the stuff, and the candle that I got for her, I also got for myself, because I'm like, you know what, when it's my time, I want to light this candle. And I loved it. And I just know that I wasn't going to find it again. And it said bride, it was just perfect. So I got everything, and then I went to my car and I completely broke down, because I thought about, I'm not going to have the chance to have my father walk me down the aisle. I don't know how I'm going to get love. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just started ruminating. The anxiety was really high, and it was just really on 10. So I went to another location, and then mind you, I'm not feeling the best. I'm not the happiest. But I will say that day, I put some perfume on. I was like, even though I feel like I'm wearing the same thing, let me at least just put some perfume. I took a shower that day, whatever. So I go and then meet this guy. And this guy complimented me oh my God, your perfume, your energy, you're this, you're that. And I'm looking at him what? What I mean? What? Are you talking to me? So I still had a stoic face and I had my shades on, and he said something that made me laugh, and then we exchanged numbers. So I'm feeling weird about this because literally, like, I was breaking down crying, and then now I'm exchanging numbers, and I'm just like, whatever, he could text me, but I'm not going to answer. Like, I already had that in my mind. Shout out to therapy, shout out to my friends, okay? So they're like, you know what, Erica, just go on a date, have fun, laugh. It doesn't have to be this big thing. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna see that I'm depressed. He's gonna see that I'm sad. He's gonna see that I'm going through so much and my anxiety. And it was just like, get dressed and go. So he reached out to me that same day and he said, I would really like to take you out. What are you doing today? And I'm like, today? But I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything, but I'm just like, oh my God, I have to mentally prepare. And my friend was like, get dressed. You can do this. Just go somewhere close. Do something light. So we did. We went somewhere close. We did something light. And I actually had a good time. I was laughing. I was talking. I was normal. And I just didn't know that I could get there because in my mind, I'm thinking there's going to be a big to do. Like, how do you date and how do you do this? And it's like, I didn't lose the essence of me. I just was paused based on what I was going through. But me being me was still there. And I actually had a really, really great time with him. I had a great time with him. And I was able to talk. And I didn't even talk about my grief. I didn't feel the urge to talk about my grief right away with him. So I took my time with that and it was fun and we continued to date. But, you know, he wasn't really the person for me. But the reason why he's significant is because he is the one that taught me that I could date again. If I didn't have that experience, I would have never known. And what I wanted to say to that is, if you were thinking about dating, or maybe somebody wants to take you on a date and you weren't sure because you're going through a loss and you don't know how you're going to be, you feel like you might be a mess. The reality is, how would you know if you don't actually put yourself out there? I would have never known had I not give this man my number and actually going out with him. He taught me that I can laugh and that I can smile again. I didn't even discuss my grief. I was actually just present. Like, we went on a couple of dates. You know, one of them was like getting ice cream and just talking about music, and it was refreshing. It was different. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised. I'm doing way better than I thought I was. But the weird thing about it for me, right, was that I knew kind of early on that this guy wasn't going to be like the one. And the weird thing for me was that I wanted to be vulnerable. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, I wanted to talk, not in a way that was like depressing or sad, but I actually wanted to like talk. And I'm like, is that weird that I want to be vulnerable? So I was trying to understand my emotions at the same time. And I'm so grateful for, you know, my friends and people that knew, because I was able to like talk to them and have them calm me down. Because I was just so, I was so confused. According to empathy.com, grieving the death of a loved one can heighten emotion. Be intentional about what you share and how you share it, because vulnerability is high. So when I read that, I'm like, oh my God, that was me. That was me. I wanted to be vulnerable. I wanted to actually tell him what was going on, but he just wasn't the right vessel. So I knew that I could do it. I just couldn't do it with him. The reason why it was a little strange for me is because I didn't think I would be able to be vulnerable, because my father is such a sacred part for me. And I feel like the man that I'm supposed to be with, I want to talk about my father. I think everybody processes grief differently, but I do believe that the death of a loved one really shapes how you view love and what you want in your partner. It really changes how you view life and what you really want and how you really don't want to settle, because life is so short and fickle. You just don't know what's going to happen. It really made me see and understand what it means for sickness and health and death do us part. Like, I understand that because I saw it firsthand between my parents, and knowing that you're going to have these moments where it's amazing and beautiful, but shit can get real, right? Life can get really real, and you want a partner who's going to be there for you and support you and support you and creates that safe space for you to be vulnerable, for you to say how you feel, for you guys to create these wonderful memories. And have these really great conversations and grow together, and spiritually, emotionally. That's so important to me, and even more important to me now because my dad is sacred. I can't just share that with just anybody. I want to be able to really talk about him in depth and not just like, oh, I went through a loss, but really explain like, this is what my father means to me, because in order for you to understand me, you do need to understand my past. You need to understand how I grew up, because that would really exemplify why I do what I do and what I believe and what I believe, and also the work that I'm doing to get better, because I'm still doing a lot of work. And I'm grateful for that experience because it really taught me like I can do this. I can date again. And I did take a pause after that. I'm not gonna lie. I did take a pause after that, but I want to come back with a very fresh sense of it's okay. Lately, I've been doing this thing where I'm like, I get very anxious and I'm like, it's okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to have a good time. It's okay. Put a shirt on and have fun. It's okay. Like, I have to keep telling myself it's okay so that I can actually do things, and I deserve love and I'm around it. I'm so happy when I hear about people getting married, my friends in new relationships, meeting somebody. And I'm like, I know that I can get that. But the reality is, if I'm going to be honest, I need to put myself out there. But I will say having that experience really allowed me to realize that I can do this. I can do this. So I feel like there's a couple of things that you can do just to kind of like make you feel a little bit better about dating after grief. One of them is to be open with limited expectations. Push yourself to have a good time. So just be open. Like, I literally had to hype myself up. I was on FaceTime with my friend, getting ready, putting an outfit on, putting my makeup on, putting perfume on. And it was actually nice to get ready because this is when I was kind of like still in my depressive state. So I actually felt good it took me 3 hours to get ready. Not because I had to like literally get ready. It was a lot of mental work that I had to do, a lot of pushing for me to get out the door. But just be open with limited expectations and have a good time. This could be your partner or not, right? Or not. Also, pay attention to what you want and what you need. Grieving definitely has you looking at life a little differently. So just pay attention to what you need. You don't have to go too crazy about your past, but think about your past relationships, what worked for you, maybe what didn't work, because what happens is grief really heightens things. And it's like, you know what? I thought I didn't care about this, but I actually do. I thought I didn't need this, but I actually do need this. Another thing I would say is share your experience with a friend or a family member or a therapist or a grief counselor. Share with somebody, because you may be a bit irrational. I'm not saying you are. I know I was. And I needed someone to just keep me leveled because I was going through so many emotions during that time. And I couldn't source it by myself. So I needed someone to tell me, it's okay. Just do this. Have fun. Don't worry. Get your ice cream. Like, I needed to be drilled. I needed a drill sergeant. And I'm just grateful that I had that support to actually like do it, because without it, I don't know if I would have been able to do that, Another thing is, there is no obligation to share your grief until you're ready. Until you're ready and until that you feel that you are safe. Feeling safe with someone is just probably one of the best feelings ever, where you could just talk and say how you feel and not worry about being judged or ridiculed or criticized, just being yourself. So until you feel open, it could be the first 4 hours you meet somebody, it could be in 4 days, it can be in 4 weeks, it can be in 4 months. But either way, whenever you're ready, you're not obligated to say it right away. I think sometimes people might be a little anxious and feel like, okay, I have to say it because, my emotions are all over the place. You don't have to, because sharing that is a very important piece of your story. And it requires more than just saying, okay, I lost somebody. Like, oh, okay. Like, it's not an easy topic to discuss. And you also have to be mindful that the same way we all grieve differently, we also process the idea and the process of death differently. So just be mindful that when you share that with people, their responses may not be what you're looking for, but it's okay. It's just not an easy topic to discuss. But when you're safe, when you're ready, when you feel like I can share this with this person because I've shared other things and they guarded me and I feel really great about that, then share your story and share it the way that you want and how you want. Guard your vulnerability. Guard your vulnerability. It's something that I really find that even till this day, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be vulnerable. It's so true how it's so heightened. And I truly, if I had to write this out, I would never think that. I would never think vulnerability is something that I would want to do right now. Seriously. So I'm amazed that it's heightened, but it may be heightened for you. Guard it. Share it. It is important to be vulnerable so that you can open yourself up to the love that you deserve, but make sure that you guard it. Present your boundaries and protect them. And if you don't want to say something or share something or do something, or if something triggers you, say that. It could be a certain spot or a restaurant or something. You never know. A song, something that could trigger you. Just guard that and respect that. And then go at your pace and believe that you will be in love again and you will find love again. My belief system really has been shaken. It has been shaken with grief. I'm not going to lie. I am in the process right now of rebuilding my belief system to believe that I can and will have it. I do realize that when my mindset is set to positive things happen. So what if I tried that with love? I actually put love to the back burner because I'm still in this kind of step by step of, I have to do this, and that. And I'm just trying to work myself out of that because the reality is life doesn't work like that. Love can happen at any moment and any time. I don't think there's anything you need to do to prepare, because I feel like when the person is for you, you being you is enough and it's fine. And they're going to love it. They're going to love everything about you. Now, granted, I do believe in working on yourself, going to therapy, working towards your traumas, anything you need to do to work on you. I do believe that's still valid and important. However, from what I've seen, the person that is meant to love you will love you. I want my man to see me as me and love me because I'm me, and creates that safe space for me because I'm going to create that safe space for him. And I want to be able to talk about this and build a family and build a life and let him know the qualities of a man that I really appreciate stems from what I saw growing up. I had a really great example, and here's what I saw. Here is what I believe a husband looks like, and you can tell me what a wife looks like, and we can, talk about it there. But I have to believe that it's going to happen for me. And I think right now with social media being so negative, it's like, what I hear out there is just so bad. This is also what inspired me to come back, because I'm like, what is this? Love is real. It's still out there, and you can still find the partner that is for you. I do believe that. I still see it over and over and over again. And I do believe that even with grief, which is a really difficult part of life, you will find it. You will, and you will be fine more than you think you are when you're actually in it. I wanted to close and read with this particular part from empathy.com. And this article said, but one of the hardest parts about losing someone we loved so dearly is that we have to survive it. We have to move forward with our lives, and we have to do it not just for ourselves, but for the person who passed away. We keep their memory alive by trying to live our best life and always having them in our heart. One of the parts of trying to move forward and live our lives is, for some of us, dating. Grief and dating aren't always the most ideal pairing, but it can be done. And I do believe that. I do believe that it can be done and it will be done. And that even after experiencing such a difficult part of life, I do believe, and I have seen, that love is around the corner, and love will be present, and love will be there, and we can do it. All we have to do is what we've been doing, step by step, day by day, little by little, and just having fun and trying things out and seeing what works and what doesn't, what we need versus what we don't. But I do believe that love is here for us no matter what stage we are in. And there's limited things we need to do to really open ourselves up for it, because the person that's meant for us is going to be just such a perfect connection, such a perfect fit that we don't have to do much. We do not. So I'm happy that I was able to share this with you guys. I hope it did invite some inspiration for you, and understanding that it is hard, but in order for us to really live our lives the right way, not only for ourselves, but for the person that we have lost as well, is for us to take care of ourselves. And when we take care of ourselves, we continuously take care of them. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please send me your feedback. I would love to hear it. Go on SaveTheGoodGirl.com and send me a cute message. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I will talk to you guys on Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.